Do you run a retail outlet, a guest house, a B&B, a restaurant, anything like that perhaps? Well, if you do, I'll bet one of your gripes is the amount of money you're charged by your bank for the credit card facility. Here, the little machine or machines you use to swipe cards and process payments. Yet, without it, in this day and age, it is almost impossible to do business. So, my attention was caught this morning by a news release on SAPA setting out a new kind of machine which could add as much as 2.5% to the bottom line every month. It is called SureSwipe, and it's an independent service. We're joined now by its managing director, Paul Kent, on the line from Johannesburg. Paul, good afternoon to you and welcome. How does SureSwipe work?
Good afternoon. Well, SureSwipe, we've come into the market with around 2 years ago with a very transparent pricing model. Now, it's traditionally, and we haven't changed that, is there will be hardware requirements, connectivity requirements at the SMME, and we put in a transparent pricing model, which is very simple. The more you transact on a monthly basis through our terminals, the lower your merchant settlement discount fee.
Will the big banks, which are not known for their charity, of course, allow this business to get off the ground? Have they allowed it to? You say you've been operating for 2 years already.
We started about 2 years ago specifically into the medical sector, which our sister company, HealthBridge, has got a very large footprint. So then just over a year ago, we went into the SMME market, which is outside of healthcare, and we've had good success over the last 12 to 18 months in that market. Of course, the big banks, they are competing with us. They are our biggest competitor, and we do rely on the footprint or our personal selling to get us into that market space.
Why do the big banks charge so much for this facility, Paul? I suppose the answer is because they can.
I think there's two areas in. One, of course, is the limited competition that they've had over the years. The second part is there is a risk. There is a fraud risk to the banks, to the financial institutions, and they need to make sure that fraud risk is catered for within the transaction fees that they charge.
Well, then, what about your security? Will SureSwipe be as secure as, say, one of the big four banks?
Certainly. We do take that into consideration when we target in specific markets. And there's a couple of markets we stay out of, which is regarded as very high-risk areas or high-risk sectors within the industry. Those being the sex industry for one, and the forecourts and garages for the other. So staying out of those specific industries, we are able to, one, offer a very competitive rate and make sure that we can maintain and manage our fraud risk.
But let's be clear about this. If I'm running a small guest house somewhere down in the Western Cape, for example, and I'm doing maybe 10, maybe 12 transactions a month, what are my rates going to be compared to, say, my neighbour who actually has a restaurant, big restaurant, 200 or 300 covers, and he's doing 30 or 40 transactions every night?
Yes, well, as I said, we've got the sliding scale model. So if you're a business that you're doing, say, 10,000 Rand per month through your credit card machine, you would get a rate of around 3.5%. And getting up to around 250, 300,000 Rand per month, it'll come down to as low as 2.3% on your credit card. Of course, on the debit card side, that is also, it's a lower risk. It's a higher security with PIN codes, etc. And that goes down to as low as 1.85% on the debit cards.
Paul, anyone listening to this conversation who wants to investigate to find out more, how would they do that?
Sure, they can go onto our website, which is www.sureswipe, that's SURESWIPE.co.za, or they can send an email through to sales@sureswipe.co.za, and we'll get in touch with people within 24 hours.
From Johannesburg, Paul Kent, Managing Director of SureSwipe. Very interesting development there in the credit card market. That is a big problem for many, many small businesses in this country. This is the Midday Report.
Talk at 9. Talk at 9.